Bring the ship up to broadcast depth. We're going in.
Yo, let me add everybody to the stream. Sorry, I got off to a late start today. I have a very, 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 very busy schedule ahead of me today. Gentlemen, how are you? Ryan, sorry, I have you muted. Let me unmute you. Hang on. There you go.
I can do it too. I was like,
All
hey,
right.
I'm taking a run for the title here. I didn't wear a beanie for a year, but we're making it happen.
Yeah, hey man, you're growing it out, man. You're growing it out. I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous of both of you guys.
What are you talking about? You got them locks right there. You look like a Viking.
Yeah. Well, I got a gig tonight. I apologize, everybody in the chat. Sorry, my bad. I have like so much to do today. We're playing a gig with this band, this industrial band. I didn't know industrial metal was still a thing. I guess it is. But there's this band called Fleischkrieg. And they're coming to Reno, and we're the only opener, and we're playing at our home base once again, the lovely garden spot of Reno, Nevada, 4th Street, which is probably the worst place in Reno that you could go. But it wouldn't be a metal show if it wasn't at like Alturas, cellar bar. If you saw the last live stream I did, that's where it's at again. So I think I might live stream again. We'll see. It just depends on who I have there with me, but I have not hosted in so long. I can't even remember when the last time was I hosted.
Well, everybody's so busy now. It sucks.
Yeah,
why aren't you talking about? Why aren't you sitting at home all day talking about alpha males? It's like because we got shit to do.
Yeah, because we have lives. Yeah. Well, I know. I think I've been kind of pissing some people off recently because it's like I have so many other side projects going right now, and I'm like, okay, I took a week off to go to Miami about a week ago so that I could go do really, I was supposed to only do one show, but I did 3 shows with Fresh and Fit. And then I did 1 show with Adam Sosnick while I was out there just because I wanted to make it worthwhile. But Jesus. Myron hits me up and says, hey, we need to go do this show, a takedown show of Drew Afualo. And she's that chick who is on TikTok with like 6.6 million followers. And she comes at me, like she basically built her personal brand on coming at guys like me or coming at Myron, or like she crushes misogynists. And she's always got this, this lad. But it was so good, I had to make a sound drop out of it. So I was just like, okay, do I really want to come out there just for one show to talk about this, this chick who's probably like 25, 26 years old, and she's going on like 12. And then I see she's got 6.6 million followers. And I'm going, even if half of those are legit, it might be worthwhile. So I went out there, and then Adam hit me up, and then the guys hit me up for a couple more shows. So I was like, okay, well, make it worthwhile. But it was like a whirlwind tour of Miami really quick because I was only there for like 4 days. In, get it done, and out. So it was like commando podcasting.
Fair enough. Did you at least do the good thing where you kind of poke fun at it for like this 26-year-old not taking her seriously, or were you guys?
Are you kidding? Yeah, that's I think what's funny is I think a lot of people expect like when they read my book. By the way, the reason I was even mentioning this is I had to take time away from doing the edits for book 5, which are done, by the way, and it's off now. I'm waiting for galley proofs from Audible, right, or from Amazon right now. So it should be within the next week that the book 5 will finally be out. But I had to take a whole week off. I would have been out a week sooner had I not done that. But so sometimes you just, and maybe you, Ryan, you probably know this as well. And John, you've written a book, haven't you?
He's written two.
He's written two, yeah.
That's the meme.
I mean, you have to like push people out of the room. I hate it too because I have to push Ned out of the room because he'll come up here. I got my hand on the trackball here, and he'll be like, try to push my hand up off of the trackball because he just wants to go outside and he wants to go play and everything like that. So, yeah. So and so you I think as a writer, sometimes you just have to be a dick, I mean, just otherwise you don't get anything done. Everybody think, oh, you don't have anything to do. Come pick me up from the airport.
I know. And they think it's like, I need to write for half an hour. So they think they can bug you a minute before and then a minute after that 30 minutes. You're like, no, man, because that distraction is going to set me back like an hour and a half back into writing. So I have to read the last 3 chapters to get where I was.
Time.
Yeah. And John, you probably do this too. It's like, if you're a writer, if you've done, well, I mean, even if you just,
you guys are way more writers than I am. You guys have written so much more than I probably ever will, but
the process is still pretty much the same.
Myself to sit down, get in the right mental space. I have to have like a writing area, and it's a job. It's a job.
I watched I forget who the name of the author was. It might have been like Patterson or it could have been Baldacci. I can't remember, but I was watching one of those masterclass like videos.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you've watched those, and like he was talking about his process, and there's actually a bunch of those are just 2 big names. There's some other ones on there as well. And one of the things they always tell you is like, you got to have a place to write that you can lock everybody out of, and you have to have like a set time to go and do your writing. And for me, that's always in the morning. So I'm like, usually like if I'm ever like on Twitter at like 6 a.m. my time, I probably was up at 4. And that's not because I'm like Jocko Willnick of writing. It's just because that's when my ideas come to me, and I think I do my best work.
Well, for me, it's because that's when everybody's quiet. It's like, I don't know, you've worked shift work, I'm assuming you guys, in sometime in your past, those like midnight shifts, midnight to 8 in the morning, where it's just the most productive time you could ever want because there's literally nothing out and open to distract you. No lights are on.
Nothing going on.
Construction. Everybody's sleeping. Even the dogs don't care. It's awesome.
Yeah. I have to do that. And then I'm also a podcaster, I guess. I didn't like set out to do that. I actually started the podcast, my main podcast. I started it out because, Pat Campbell wanted to do something, and I'm like, okay. And then I just kept going with it. And then I did it mainly for engagement. And now I've got the Clips channel, and the Clips channel is almost doing better than the main channel right now, but I got to do the main channel to have the Clips channel. So
those thumbnails every time, it's always got to have you like the 4-finger point at some girl with like a quizzical look. I'm like, you clickbaiting.
It's so man.
I used to, I'll tell you what, you want to know how dead my soul is now, right? Because you've been following my blog probably since the very beginning, right? Yeah. One of the things people will compliment me on the most is like my photo editing, and I mean like selection, like capabilities, I guess. And like, oh man, he always comes up with the best photos for his lead in shots for his blog posts and everything, and that kind of transferred over into my thumbnails, at least in the beginning. In the early days it did. Now not so much. Now it's like it has to be some expression of shock with a white outline around your silhouette.
Yeah, we're all there now. Johnny, I seen you're making like shorts now talking about UFC stuff. So I'm like, I remember you were like, I'm done with that for a bit.
Oh, well, I just finally started doing I got the shorts. I got a Clips channel now too for my website or my podcast, Jumpfish Don't Sound Good. So
dude, that's the only complaint I hear about you is like a lot of guys in my chat. We had our one-on-one
and edit some stuff.
Yeah, when we did our 1v1 when everybody else was busy on the rulezero, everybody's like, I never realized this, but this guy's entertaining as hell. Why doesn't he steal the mic more? And I'm like, I told you guys he's fucking awesome.
I know. By the way, John, I've been meaning to get down to San Jose just so we can just shoot the shit for a weekend. I thought maybe that'd be kind of fun to just go do some video. Like, you teach me how to fight. I know Kali and I know Taekwondo from like way back in the day, but yeah, I mean, I still practice Kali, but like as far as like my martial arts, I'm definitely not as into it as I was before I got married and had a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to get down there. Also, by the way, my birthday is next Saturday. I will not be on this show because I will be in Phoenix, Arizona, hanging out with Robert Kiyosaki, who's decided to throw me a birthday party down there in Phoenix.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So that'll be fun. So I'm doing a talk, which of course is also a talk. And
so you're working for your birthday, in other words.
I'm working on my birthday. Yes, I am. But once you get past 50, it's like.
Once you get past 21, there's what other?
Yeah. Well, what else is there to do? How are we gonna party? So yeah, April 2nd is my birthday. It will be a Saturday. I'll be down in Phoenix from April 1st actually until Tuesday the 5th because I'm doing some. I'm hoping I can see Razor Fist. Well, Razor Fist, if you're watching, like, call me, dude.
Oh yeah.
I would love to go and hook up with him because I know he's in Phoenix too. So if I can get on with Razor Fist, I will.
Dude, why have you guys not collabed now? Think about it. You're both into metal. You basically have the same hair.
Right.
You both are into Warhammer. The only thing I don't know is if you like film noir and like.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is he's a big BattleTech nerd, and I used to be like I guess I still kind of am. I would play BattleTech again if I could.
Yeah. I think BattleTech, Warhammer. Do you want orcs or like space robots, really?
Yeah, it's fantasy, Tolkien in space or like big robots in space, mecha in space. It's like white boy mecha. It's not like Japanese mecha. Yeah, it's like European like robots instead of
It's Afghanistan animation, Chief.
It's not Voltron.
Afghanistan animation.
I was gonna wait for. I know John was gonna come, or John MLD is gonna come in at some point. So I obviously you guys got the link, so everybody else did too. I'll just start right now. If you want to, I actually do have 7 ways to monetize. I didn't lie to you. I actually have 7 ways to monetize.
We will
Hopeless
see
Guys.
if number 4 surprises me.
Yes, it's funny as I highlighted that one because I knew it had to be the one.
Yeah.
That had to be there. So, and by the way, Ryan, you had a really good show this morning.
Thanks,
I thought that was good.
I was worried as soon as I start bringing up like the Tim Pool examples. I'm like, I hope this doesn't come across as some hater shitting on.
We'll talk about Tim Pool a little bit today too. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So let's start off with number 1. So here's let me just Ryan, you're actually the one who kind of came up with the topic today, but then I kind of took it and ran with it. So like, what did you mean like when you came up with this topic? I'll just start with you real quick before I get to number 1.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're seeing it from the inside. It's totally different when you see these guys talking about women ain't shit. Mm-hmm. And I see them talking, and they're like, they bring up all these points, and then as soon as a celebrity does something, they're all over it. And I realize it's not helping anybody. It's just celebrity gossip for dudes. And so many dudes come into like my community, for example, saying, I used to watch all these guys, and they name off like 5 content creators. And then every day I was just an anxious wreck who was just pissed off at the world. Then I started watching you guys, and you're just chilling out, having fun and like being a man and getting laid without yelling at the world. And I was like, this is so much better. And I just realized, like, because they used to complain. Remember that when they ran you up the flagpole when we first started, thinking, oh, these guys are just trying to steal money from poor, sexless men. And I was like, what the fuck
exploitation.
Mm-hmm. So,
hey, Ryan, before you continue, can you pot up your mic a little bit? Everybody's saying you're kind of low.
Am I low?
Or get closer. Get closer to your mic. Eat your mic.
How about this? Does this work? Does this give you that nice ASMR vibes?
Sultry, dulcet tones of.
Yeah, we'll see. I was clipping a little bit on the other channel, so I turned it down. It should be good now. If it clips, guys, let me know. I mean, that was basically it. I just realized, so I get now why people were pissed off like that, because like that's basically what 90% of this place is. See, I can hear the clipping.
There we go.
It's what 90% of people are. So like I get it why you're mad, but like that ain't us. But then I'm like, why don't we do that for an episode? It'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, and the reason why I jumped on this as well, and John's probably seeing this too, because you're, for better or worse, John, I hate to, sorry, but you're in the Manosphere. You got the Manosphere on you. I got the Manosphere on me.
Just reeks of Doritos and sadness.
Yeah, I know. It's Cheetos. Get it off of me. Speaking of get it off of me, what's up, Paul?
What's up?
I'm in.
What's going on, man?
So let me just to continue a little bit more. I know who Lisa Sparks is. Fake Rollo. Thanks a lot. You're out. Bye bye.
Oh yeah, somebody was asking about that. What the hell is up with her?
I don't know. Somebody asked you about that on your show too. I went and I looked up Lisa. I know who Lisa Sparks is. She's like an old porn star, isn't she?
Yeah. I mean, the 3 X's at her name, but I'm like, is there drama around this or what?
I don't know. Was she did she fuck a senator or something?
And I looked it up, but that's the problem is you don't don't type that into Google because you're not going to find what you're looking for. I'll tell you right now. I should know better, but I didn't. So I'm stupid. I get it. I own it.
Yes. So I thought what you were saying, like when you came up I usually like petition you guys for topic. I come up with topics too, but it's like, if you guys come up with a better one, which you did, I'll go with it. But the reason why I went with it was because I have been quoted, coming up on 3 different articles in the Epoch Times.
Ooh.
If you are aware of that website it's actually a newspaper is what it is. I thought it was interesting because I'm like, oh, they're going to quote me in this. And my father-in-law actually subscribes to the Epoch Times. And I'm like, But they like one of the articles. This guy John McGillen, I think is his name. He was talking about incels, and incels are the new hotness right now. And I don't know if you guys are real. Incels. It's easy. It rolls off the tongue. It's like whenever there's like some like really kind of cutesy bullshit like insult that like people can like sort of remember, like that normies can remember. They can remember incel, right? Oh, incel, you're just a dork, right? That's what they're looking for. They don't know what an incel even stands for, involuntary celibate, but it sounds like virgin loser from like Revenge of the Nerds back in the 80s. Perma virgin. Yeah, okay. That it rolls off the tongue a little bit better. But if the Epoch Times is coming to me wanting to know about incels, it's hit the mainstream. So, yeah.
That's like, remember when Cuck was popular for 15 minutes? Oh, that was annoying.
Oh, Aaron Clay. Have fun, dude. Have fun. Go fight Gorn in the hills of Red Rock, Las Vegas. Is that where he is? Red Rock?
Probably. Take a selfie without flipping the world the bird. Try that for a bit. See if you like yourself.
Yeah.
You should smile more.
He can't do it.
Enjoy the watch.
And he's a big cigar.
Yeah.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Yeah. Sure it is, buddy.
Yeah.
Sure he's not in a mall doing a mall walk in the morning? Or...
Yeah. Nice. Speaking of Lisa Sparks, now Ryan's got his porn star.
Dude, John is right. I was like, why are you wearing glasses inside? And he goes, when you have these lights staring at you all day, it starts to hurt. I'm like, are you in?
I know. When I do Fresh and Fit, when I do the Ratchet Hose shows, I'm like, yeah, I can understand why you would have those on there. Like when I did when I was doing solo shows, like we'll start in the afternoon and I don't need glasses. And then by the time it gets dark, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Sorry guys, it's gotta happen.
Yeah. And by the way, yes, Myron is losing his hair, but you notice where Myron's losing his hair? It's all across the top of the band of the he has to wear all the time. I was like, oh shit. But okay, so anyways, so getting back to this, the idea anyways is that I think that the mainstream is sort of just, clearly is picking up on red pill topics, content. We talk about this all the time. I don't think this is news to anybody, but what is, I think, kind of novel is the fact that the mainstream is picking up on certain things like incels and they're trying to I don't know, fit themselves into the manosphere by like that's jingoism or something like that. It's like it's our vernacular, and so therefore they want to pick up on it because it's the new hotness. So you even have normies like Matt Walsh, or like who's doing this documentary, I guess, on Daily Wire. He's got this new documentary coming out where it's called "What Is a Woman." Right. It's
I saw that cringe.
Okay, now I get the whole Dr. Phil thing. It wasn't really actually this really God's honest, conversation. It was a promo opportunity for Matt Walsh. Bravo. Golf clap. Bravo. Because when I saw that, and I actually did a full video on that, I was like, oh man, this is interesting. And then I realized this is grift. It's just grift is what it ends up being. And what you mentioned this on your show this morning, Ryan, was what is it? Women are the primary consumers in the United States right now.
Oh, and worldwide, but yeah, definitely
worldwide. Yeah, so you brought that up, and then I also whenever somebody brings that up, I'm also reminded of the fact that we are now in really the latter half of the millennials, and certainly all of Gen Z right now, the Lost Boys generation. Remember how we always say, we raise boys to be defective girls. Mm-hmm. This is the generation of defective men, right? These are the boys who were raised as defective girls who are now not men; they're defective women, is what they are. And so as a result, it's like they don't know what to do with themselves. They're just they're going to be housefrows. It's just this.
Chicks don't know what to do with them either.
And the chicks don't do with them either. And so they become a prime consumer demographic, right? So that's why when you said, hey, what about how does the Manosphere, how does this, I don't even call it the Manosphere, I don't even know what to call it right now, but it's sort of like this male improvement space that has become all about the grift right now. And so I was joking, of course, the title and the whole thumbnail. By the way, yes, I'll bait you in like that now because you know why? You want that. You guys want the bait. You guys want the title to be 7 ways to monetize, hopeless guys, right?
Yeah.
Teach that bitch a lesson.
I'm poking fun at you. It's not that I'm being serious. That's another thing is like that literalism that these guys have is like that's part of the problem, I think, as well. So anyways, I'm going to go down the list now that we've sort of established why we're doing this. Here's my first observation. If you guys have any more to like sort of throw on here, I actually do have 7 here. So the first one I got is and this is probably easiest to understand, is the quote unquote authentic masculinity brand. Like be a real man. How to be a real man. What does a real man do? And even when I go on Patrick Bet David or I go on like the Blaze or whatever, that's like the first thing I would be like, what is conventional masculinity? What is a man is almost a bigger question, I think, than what is a woman, Matt Walsh, if you're watching. Because most guys and women don't want men to be men because they can make more money off of guys being confused and demonized, toxic. They don't want to be, it's either toxic or they're like, I don't know, what's a man? I'm just do whatever I want to. It's all subjective. So are you guys, how do you guys?
They want a man to be a tool, but they want that tool to be psychic and know what tool to be at what time.
Mm-hmm.
Which coincides with your Gumroad course, of course. The real man does these things here that I'm doing.
Exactly. And so it's
like me, it worked for me.
Masculinity. And I'm just going to throw this one out here too, because I was on topic here. Tradcons and the Wokesies are both on board with this. It's not like, oh, Tradcons have my best interest in mind because they go to church and they uphold, these standards. And then you get Jack Murphy who flames out in a glorious fashion.
Well, yeah, but he'll probably come right back. Hey, I found Jesus, guys. I'm real sorry.
You know what?
Hey, guys.
These guys will buy into it again. Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
No, they will. Well, it's become a marketing tool now, right? So you have a bunch of men who are defective women who want to learn what masculinity is all about. And so all I have to do is say, well, I'll show you the way to be the real man if you just buy my no fap course, or
no fap,
flame your balls in the morning at 5 a.m. or do my whatever program, and that's what it is. It's become a way to market, whether it's a Tradcon sort of philosophy or way to go or podcast or whatever it is, or whether it's pickup stuff or whether it's some sort of woo-woo masculinity grift or whatever. Anything, pick anything, put it in there. I mean, because I can insert anything and call it real masculinity, and then market it to a bunch of guys who don't really understand what masculinity is and are trying to figure it out. And sadly, last thing on that though is sadly, they no one's really wanting to fix, or these guys to fix themselves.
Well, the gravy train stops when it's fixed,
right? Yeah. So
COVID is a treatment, not a cure.
Yes.
We see this as a problem actually in the psychology and counseling and therapy community. And I'm not saying all therapists or psychologists or counselors are not interested in, fixing someone and letting someone be able to move on and be healthy. But the system is not designed necessarily for people to be healthy. It's designed for people to take medication and then continue to show up someplace, bi-weekly or weekly to not fix problems. And so that's where that model has sort of gone its way into the internet self-help world, and masculinity is part of that. That's what it is.
It's become a brand. Like masculinity is a brand. Whatever your pet ideology is, that's the red pill real masculinity. And here's your medal. If you a real man does X. That's why I lay this at the feet of traditional conservatives as well as the woke mob, because the woke mob will say the same thing. Like I see this all the time. Like every now and then you'll see, oh shit, it's all over TikTok. TikTok, but it's always, a real man doesn't care if the kid's his, right? A real man will support the child, whether it's his kid or it's not, if the DNA says it is or it's not. Now, you will hear that from girls on TikTok, and you will hear that from the conservative side of things too. It's just couched in religion on one side, and on the other side, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, it's two sides of the same coin. I mean, the religious model over the years has turned into having a man be a resource slave to a family imperative, which is really her goals and her imperative. And that's unfortunately what it's sort of turned into and grifted towards. And then you have, women who, by and large, as a target group like feminism or tradcon gynocentrism, don't want to have to be responsible for the things they've done in their past or their actions. So that fits really well with that. Like, accept her and her mistakes and, orgy parties used to have and the crack parties and the Q and the baby that she's carrying. You don't know who the dad is. Take care of that kid, and do that. Like, it's like she doesn't have to be responsible for or have consequences for her actions, because a real man's going to come in and they're going to take away that take away those consequences for her.
One of the things, here's a good question for you guys. One of the things that I run into with this one right here is, like, I'll be on, I think the last time I was asked this was on You Are Here with Elijah Schaefer and Sydney Watson, and we were talking about, like, masculinity. Like, what's real masculinity? What's authentic masculinity? And I actually did a show about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was I forget the name of the show. Was it Jubilee or something like that? And
those guys,
all these people together, and they're like supposed to be different sides of the issue or something. So we have the traditional conservative guys on one side, and then we have like sort of the transgender guys on the opposite side. And by the way, never put transgender in a title of any YouTube video, just so that guy, that didn't just get yellow flag. That was like, this is ineligible. I didn't get a strike, but they're just like, you can't.
Didn't you know the trans YouTube community is suing YouTube right now for discrimination on that? So that they're going hard.
Yeah. So you have these two sides, and I was listening to it and I go, they're just two sides of the same coin. Because they don't care about solving an issue. They don't care about coming to an objective definition of what is a man or what is a woman. They don't care about Matt Walsh. The worst thing that could possibly happen to him is one of these people gives him an objective, definition of what is a woman, right? Because it kills the grift. There's no, like you were saying before, right? And there's nothing else to market after that point. Yeah. And now you've got, I'm sure you saw the meme recently of the black woman whose name I can't remember right now, but
she's Supreme Court thing.
The Supreme Court, and she was saying, "I don't know, I'm not a biologist," right? And so now something like that's instant meme, man. That's like Twitter was just right on top of that. But the worst thing that could happen is that she actually says, "Well, here's what a woman is," right, or whatever, and what happens is that kills the conversation, because if there's no boogeyman, no one gets paid. And in this case, the boogeyman is, what is a woman? Sorry, I stepped on Ryan. What were you going to say, Ryan?
No, the whole thing, it's Coke versus Pepsi. That's all it is. What brand do you want? That's what I love about when you notice how it's authentic. Nobody says sincere. It's always authentic, because like Tom Cruise plays an authentic super spy in Mission Impossible. That's exactly what they're talking about. What's authentic masculinity? I don't know what plays well for the media.
Yeah, well,
I can't stand it. Like, everybody's like, well, you're either the woke side or the tradcon side. And it creates this Overton window. And this is why what you say about Iron Rule number 1, frame is anything or is everything. You're either in yours or in somebody else's. I kind of fucked up the quote, but I got the gist of it.
Close enough.
So if you're actually confident in your masculinity or being a man or however you want to phrase it, then this stuff just seems all like a ridiculous clown show to you. And you can sit here and watch a little bit to be entertained, but like, I don't give a shit about the Supreme Court bullshit. I don't care about Tim Walsh, other than he's occasionally funny to laugh at if it pops in front of my face. But
yeah, he's a lol cow.
And that's kind of the point. Like, to get red pilled is to understand. Yeah, good choice. Is to understand this is just like a clown show farce trying to steal the hearts and minds of gullible, emotional men, because they are right now a niche, marketable demographic.
Yes,
that's all it is. And once you understand that, you can laugh at it for what it is. Hence my shit post that I put up. And then I make fun of the autistic guys in the chat who are taking it seriously.
Right.
Like, guys, you're exactly who I'm trying to reach, and you're making a point for me. Thank you.
Well, when I was on Elijah Schaefer's show, like they asked me that. They said, well, what's conventional masculinity? And I was like running down some, what are the aspects of masculinity that are unique to a human male on planet Earth, right? So I'm rolling this out. And of course, what do you think the first thing out of anybody's mouth is? Well, women could be that way too, don't you think? Well, they could. If we could have a concrete definition of what the fuck a woman was in the first place, then maybe we could have this conversation. But clearly we can't, because it can be anything. That's the whole point of me, like, even having the conversation, is trying to pin these guys down on either side to a concrete, objective definition of what is a man, what is a woman. You do that, and they lose the argument. And they know they lose the argument, because the moment they do, their identity is wrapped up in this subjectivity of, well, women can be strong too. Or we got and Fitch, I think Fitch showed me this was the swimmer who went from like 467th or something like that to number one in
records.
Yeah, I don't know it's William something or other, and it's Leah, right? But it's like
Leah Thomas, whatever. I think is the
William
name.
Thomas. Yeah, Will Thomas. Yeah. Bill Thomas was 467 or 63rd in swimming, number one in female swimming, which ought to tell you something about female swimming, by the way. Yeah. So, but that's why I laughed at that, and I thought, well, here's a guy who basically followed the masculinity grift. Oh, chase excellence, my friend. Don't chase women.
Yeah. How bad do you want it? At least this bad.
I just think it's so funny that like woke stuff comes full circle to just bite them. Do you know what I mean? It's like a dog chasing his tail and finally reaches his own ass.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, women can do anything a man can do. Women can do anything a man can do. A man's competing in women's sport as a woman and winning. Just.
Oh, I love this one. Doesn't Eve have belly buttons?
She's not a Christian.
That's a good one.
But I'm with this one guy. I fully support it, because you know what? It's not the extreme people driving this. Like, anybody who's been bitching about the trans athlete thing, they're not people in athletics. They're not people who have kids in athletics. It's the average person that just kind of goes along to get along. Well, I don't want to be mean to people, so I'll go along with it. And then like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't expect this to affect my life. I thought this was just a random virtue signal.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you're going to have to get a situation where a couple MMA, chicks are going to start cracking some skulls to the point they put some people in comas before they start.
That happened.
Oh, that's right. It did
really
happen.
Bad.
There's a girl
really
who
bad, dude.
there's a trans girl who fractured another girl's skull.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the X-ray of that. It looked like a windshield. It was crazy.
Well, and
but you're going to need. So people have to basically suffer the consequences of their own actions.
You have Russia straight up having, man, woman cross-gender fights.
Throw them in a ring, give them one knife.
But I'm with Paul. It's not my fight. You guys sort it out. Watching the turfs and the wokes fight over the hearts and minds of whatever mental illness they're going. I'm like, you guys fill your boots, man. You disinvited me from this event long ago.
Yeah. So let me just to finish, so I can move on to the next one here. So as far as like authentic masculinity, it's always whatever that person who's selling you on, like, here's what a real man does. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be guys in the manosphere. It can be women saying a real man takes care of his kids, right? A real man, takes care, isn't afraid of strong, independent, isn't threatened by, powerful women, right? Whatever. Like, that's that side of it. The other side is a real man gets up at 4 a.m. and does, body weight pull-ups and, and sweats his ass out and, by 6 a.m. kind of thing. And again, it's like, maybe that's the best thing for you. Maybe get your fat ass in the gym. I'm not going to say it's not, but how it's sold to you, that is most definitely monetized. If you're going to buy the program to do so. So that's number one. Okay, now number two is this. And this is Ryan's going to love this one. Number two, chick talk outrage brokers. Modern women are delusional. If you want to get eyes on the screen, if you want to get click-through rate, if you want to get impressions, all you have to do is start a chick talk channel. That's all you have to do. And you know what? It's this never-ending supply of outrage brokership or brinksmanship, I guess is probably the proper term for it. But I have watched over the past probably last 2 years or so, once TikTok really kind of took off, especially for younger women, it has become a platform for women to just vent their most
stupidest thing they can think
misandrous, stupidest shit. And what's ironic about the whole thing is that they just simply don't understand, or they're completely oblivious to the fact that they're just making the case that the red pill has been talking about for certainly 20 years, right? At least since I've been in it. It's just simply making the same arguments or proving the same arguments. And
girls telling on themselves, when you're dating and you don't be judgmental towards any of the stuff they're telling you, they start revealing the deepest, darkest, horrible, horrific secrets they've ever had. You don't react negatively to them, and you're just like, oh wow, cool. Like, they'll tell you everything, and now it's spilling onto the internet.
I was on when I was on Fresh and Fit 2 weeks ago. That was actually the main topic was, should men care about women's promiscuity? By the way, real men don't care about women's promiscuity either, apparently.
Definitely not. Not the real men.
Do it, right? And then it's funny because that Drew Afwalo, this chick, the Drew Afwalo, she's in between number 1 and number 2 here, because her entire channel, her entire TikTok is really locked into, here's what a real man does. He doesn't care about, what these red pill guys care about. Like, he doesn't care about single moms. He doesn't care about a woman's past. He doesn't care about, here's what a real man kind of does. And if you have a problem with anything that the women on TikTok are saying right now, then you're insecure and you're not a real man. So it's like, I've got the brand of I've got the masculinity medal right here. And if you believe what I'm telling you, then you'll get the masculinity medal. And then on top of that, it's also the outrage bait of TikTok on top of that. But my point in this is that, and just 1 second, Paul. But my point in all of this is that accountability, as John Fitch was saying just a minute ago, accountability is marketable to young men today. If you want to monetize to hopeless guys and you want to keep them coming back for more, last Sunday I did a breakdown video of this kid, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was talking about, here's what I agree with about the red pill and here's what I don't agree with, and it's all the same thing I'm expecting from anyone who does videos like this, right? Completely take everything out of context and have no real understanding of it. In fact, say so right in the beginning of the video. Well, I don't know much about this, but here's what I think. Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Tell me what you have to say, Mr. Uneducated. Great.
Let me talk about brain surgery real quick.
Yes. I'm not a brain surgeon, but here's what I think about neurological, neurology.
I've never even read a book, but let's talk about this.
Yes. So if you can put in the title, and Ryan, have you done this yet? If you put in the title of your YouTube, modern women are delusional, or some variation of modern woman and delusional, and you just fit whatever pronouns or whatever, adverbs and nouns between those two, you're going to get clicks.
Oh, dude. Yeah. My most popular video was making fun of and it wasn't even a bad thing. It was just some 43-year-old that's single thing. And I didn't think life would end that way. I put her on the cover with these 43-year-olds don't know what and I'm just this thing 50,000 views. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh, my worst videos definitely got the most views. It was just, I did a video. I explored the psychology behind cucking, and yeah. It's the most popular. It's I don't know, it might be up to 100,000 now, and I don't have that big of a channel. You know what I mean? Yeah. And and the reason why I wasn't trying to do that to stimulate outrage. It was just going down the path and understanding, in the basic theory for anyone interested, or I should say maybe it's a hypothesis, okay, but is that women in their brains kind of have to cuck dudes that they've been with or out there because of hypergamy. They in their brains have to believe that the guy that they're choosing is better, and then by default all these other guys are not better, and in their minds they have to justify the reasons why, and so that's where and that includes sexually, right? If they've been with that person sexually. And so it's an interesting idea or thought problem with some decent, you could say, evidence behind it. It's not like you can put it to a study necessarily, where you could, but it hasn't been done. But man, did that thing blow up just talking about. And the reason why it blew up is because it stimulates anxiety. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm actually just having this thought problem, but guys have anxiety and deep anxieties about, their relationships with women. And then that's what all this stuff will stimulate. It's
Dude,
like
you're more noble than me. All I did with mine is like, I see too many videos of guys looking at TikToks than ranting about them. Like, look at these women, they ain't shit. I'm like, let me just show you how you can just laugh at things and have some fun. And that's all I did. That's why I called them out-of-pocket chick talks. It's like America's Funniest Home Videos with thoughterry. And that was my only goal.
That's
just like,
great.
hey, that's like my title for the last video I did just this morning. You should smile more, Manosphere. If I ever see another champion kickboxer scowling, talking about how it's great to be a millionaire, I'm gonna fucking shit a donkey.
Ryan, when we get off this show, I'm going to give you my TikTok logo so you can use the TikTok logo. I officially approve it for you. You can. I should trademark it.
Score.
The videos are fun to watch.
It does to the real TikTok video. I probably would. The other thing is like this also comes down to accountability, and that's the account. Like if you look at Kevin Samuels, if you look at Fresh and Fit, if you look at a lot like. Hell, I mean, you can see other guys, like even the guys on the Roommates, and not just even the black manosphere. It's like in the, I guess, white manosphere too. Everybody wants to do TikTok videos because that's like low hanging fruit, man. It's like right there. Why wouldn't you do something like that? It's like easy content over and over and over again. And the women are like, oh, they'll just do whatever they want to. And it's this endless supply of content. And you're right, Paul. These guys just want to commiserate. They just want to sit there and go, oh, look at these delusional women. Can you believe it? Oh, I'm going to go my own way. Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Manosphere.
Right. Well, and that's the unfortunate thing is, I mean, these are a subset of women that you're seeing. I mean, I couldn't imagine like my chick or really anybody's chicks here on the panel, probably a lot of people I know, getting on TikTok and making some of these stupid videos and making themselves look like idiots. This is a subset of women that are probably in the red flag category of,
the Pareto principle.
Don't play with that fire. You know what I mean? Like,
Ryan, are you familiar? There's this really hot blonde that is on TikTok, and she's a doctor. And I can't remember. I'll pass her. I follow her now because somebody showed me her TikTok, and it's all this female empowerment stuff. It doesn't matter if you're 33, you could still look hot like me and be a doctor, right? I'm like, what?
Wow.
And I mean, she does look pretty good for being like early 30s.
Yeah, there's the qualifier. That's the thing that people always do. She looks really hot for her 43.
So,
wow, you're pretty rich for a poor guy.
She is just militant and arrogant about the whole. That's these men's fault that they can't see. Look at this. Look at me. I'm a doctor. I'm a hot piece of ass. I got a little dog. What the fuck is wrong with me? No, there's nothing wrong with you, girl. You're enough, right? That sells to women, but you know what sells to guys? Guys who copy and paste that, put it into their TikTok videos, and they go, hot damn, let's talk about how delusional this, semi-attractive surgeon is.
Dude, it's like watching giant dicks in porn.
They can watch that and feel good about themselves without actually doing any work or making themselves better. Ha 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 ha.
There's a reason why the scene in porn isn't showing a chick. It's got like a giant dick and balls for like 80% of the frame, and then 20% of it's got a girl in the corner.
Yes.
These guys have this fantasy. That's not the 43-year-old doctor. That's that bitch that left you at the altar. That's that girlfriend that dumped you for the dude at the foam cannon party.
That's interesting. Yeah.
They're like, good, I knew it. In 15 years, she's going to get her comeuppance, and then they feel good about themselves, and they jerk off and lubricate it with their own tears.
Well, here's the interesting since porn is up. Oh, I got the screen now, so I can talk about BBC porn, everyone. We can clip this out in his own video. But so BBC porn, the reason why that's like a popular thing, but guess who it's popular with? It's guys. When you look at what women are choosing to watch for porn, it's not that. It's actually, it's not that at all. In fact, like I think lesbian porn is like number 1, number 2 for them. And so it's they're way down on the list is gigantic dick porn for women. And yet for guys it's higher. Why is that? Anxiety. That's why. Yep. You know what I mean?
And speaking of porn.
Speaking of big dick porn. Hi, John.
Hey, I wanted to come on.
You came in right at the right time.
I heard lesbian porn. I was like, count me in. Let's do this.
Oh man. I don't think I'm saying anything that John hasn't already covered before when we're talking about like how can you make money online with like loser guys now, John?
Oh,
do you any of the two we've talked about so far? Authentic masculinity and chick talk outrage brokers.
Well, I mean,
what's more lucrative?
I think people. Here's the real bottom line. I just think people in the manosphere are just shit at sales and marketing in general. They're just like, this has been going on forever. People have been fleecing each other since the dawn of civilization.
Everything's a grift.
Everybody in the manosphere is always just like, I mean, let's be honest, the majority of guys in the manosphere are losers. No offense. And
not wrong.
Even the leaders are also losers. But the few of the cream rise to the top.
Blind leading the blind.
Yeah, and it is what it is. And the majority of people are losers in life too, right? I'm starting to understand that harsh reality. But you know, people will get mad.
Been trying to fix them lately, have you?
What's that?
Been trying to fix them lately, have you?
Oh, dude, I have a lot of success stories, but obviously I have more failures. Just how the life works,
right?
But, yeah, I mean, you know, you just grow up. If you get mad at people for selling something, you need to grow the fuck up. That's like getting mad at a woman for like not wanting to be with a short bald guy. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just life. You got to grow up.
I'm glad you brought that up, John, because that's really kind of like the overarching theme of this whole thing is I didn't want to, I mean, it's fun to talk. I mean, this is an entertaining topic. Don't get me wrong, but the reason why I'm talking about this, the reason why I wanted to like sort of pursue what Ryan was coming up with here as a topic is because I want guys to actually sort of see the code in the matrix here. Like, how are you being marketed to by guys who are, you know, selling you authentic masculinity, whether that's the woke side or the tradcon side, or like chick talk outrage brokership, right? Modern women are delusional. Holding women accountable is the new thing. Now, if you can go to the extent where you can create your own studio and bring women in there and confront them face to face, that's going to be really, that's $1 million brand right there, as we know. But if you can't do that, you can always just go to TikTok, download a few videos, put them on your channel, and talk shit about the chicks that are on there and just talk about how delusional. That's the low-hanging fruit version of pretty much the same thing, the accountability side of things. And then Ryan was saying this as well, as it's comeuppance. It's basically revenge, pro-revenge, that sub. Remember pro-revenge on Reddit?
Oh, yeah, that lasted for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's probably not there anymore.
California passed laws specifically to fight that kind of stuff just because of that.
Oh, man.
Josh, I'm going to get to Josh's super chat here because it is almost synonymous with number 3. Number 3 is this is the third way of confidence. Okay, confidence, believe in yourself, the religion of positivity, and you just need to get over your fear kind of thing. And it's this again low hanging fruit. Guys like Zig Ziglar, guys like Tony Robbins, guys like the success porn hustlers have been selling this kind of like magical access to the confidence that they just know is just deep down in your well of your soul, that if you could just be more self-confident, if you could just lift yourself up, and that you all you have to do is tap into it. And here's my proven 12 steps for life so that you can become more confident kind of thing. And it's really kind of marketing the idea that here, I'm going to show you how to get to confidence, because that's one of the number one things that what women want in a guy, right? They want a guy who's got confidence, who can stand up for himself and be a confident dude. Rollo, how do I get confidence? They don't like it when I tell them that confidence comes from options. And where does options come from? Hard fucking work. Where it comes from.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing. It's there's always, and this is the unfortunate thing, is there are grains of truth in all of these things too.
Yes.
And that's why they sell. Like, yes, guys may have to overcome limiting beliefs and get better confidence and may have some traumas or past experiences they need to overcome. That's true, but that's not going to happen from my peak experience seminar in one try, or one particular thing that you could just passively watch and pay a bunch of money with, or be a part of some, it's all about feeling good. Do you know what I mean? And feeling good to be a part of this thing.
Emotional.
But you got to do this work. You got stuff to do, or else it's not going to work. And someone who's selling you the feel good experience without the work, that's when you have to have your spidey senses should take
right.
a
We Go on, John. I know you're grinding your teeth. Go for it.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, but the reason is this, right? We can't hold the average man to our standards on this panel because we are all above average. I mean, we're literally on the panel with a world-class fighter. You know what I mean? And then Paul is as a literal warrior. Rollo, your book speak for yourself. I mean, I made $1 million talking shit.
Ryan's a porn star.
Ryan just looks good. Ryan's the model.
Dude, I do all of your guys' stuff half as good, but all of it. You're the
best Minecraft player, Ryan. You're the best Minecraft player. He's the alpha Minecraft. But I'm trying to say is like the majority of my students who come through my courses fail. The majority of the people who come through a majority of courses fail because the majority of people on the planet are losers, and that's like a harsh reality. Like I was watching this chick, I did a breakdown the other day. I was doing some fresh and fit breakdowns, and this one girl, she was saying like, she made a really good point, and then she followed up with a really bad point. She was telling the girls like, not everybody has to like you, but you are eventually going to find that one person who does like you for who you are. And I was just like, well, that's not true, because that's not real.
No.
Yeah, people are you're lucky if you find a girl that you love and you click with and you get along with and you have a good relationship and you can be monogamous, try and be happy doing that, right? And the success is the minority. That's why it's so coveted, right? Because scarcity is linked to value.
Yes.
And so it's a valuable thing because it's rare. Because if everybody had $10 million, then $10 million wouldn't mean shit, right? So yeah, I think that I do believe in the power of positivity. I do, because I understand what it's like to be plagued with a negative mind and how that stuff can destroy you. I know it's like to be
same.
Yeah, I know how it is to get lost in a sea of negativity, whether it be
you get into a negative feedback loop. That's why. It's because you're constantly because you're looking for that shit, right?
Yeah. So I don't
looking for something.
Negativity bias is what I.
And so I don't think that telling people to like be positive is a bad thing, but I think telling people that only being positive is gonna save you is terribly wrong. Like you have to do whatever it is necessary to get what you want. Like people are, love to point at me like, oh, MLD just popped on the scene and made some courses and that's how he made his money and he was an overnight success. It's like, no, like I didn't get these skills in like.
Dude, I remember you in 2015 hitting me up in 2015 when Nick Krauser was coming at you.
Yeah,
like,
which
I don't think people really realized like my history with you was way before rulezero.
Yeah. And it was even funnier is I engineered that whole thing for Nick Krauser to come at me, and I was just like, everybody in the Manosphere is an idiot. Like, why are these authorities? Why are these authorities even authorities? And then I came on the scene. It was just unbelievable. But anyways, going back to that, right? Like, this is why I publicly state who I don't like. Like, I don't like the what's the bald guy with the raspy voice? The bus. He lives in a bus.
Sad MGTOW boy, Jester.
Better bachelor.
Bitter.
Bitter bachelor.
That guy.
Sad MGTOW boy.
Yeah, the guy who lives in a bus. That's why I don't like him, because if you are if you're a man and you're sitting around and you're like, oh, these bitches are sluts and this bitch ain't shit and fuck all these hoes, they're all sluts. You're the equivalent to a fat girl being like, well, I'm beautiful, love my curves, and like, man gotta love me for who I am. That's you're the fucking female equivalent, and so you're the male equivalent rather. So, when I see guys like him and Coach 5'4" Adams, right, when those two guys are just churning out toxic, negative content that literally ruins men on a psychological level because
Right.
they get ingrained in the shit. That's what I don't like.
I'm so glad you brought up
don't
that
like that
word
either.
because churn is actually a marketing term, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I use matter of fact, in book 5, which will be coming out next week, I use that. There's actually when I'm talking about brand management, because it's about game, right? But it's like I'm talking about brand management. Brand management is all about churn. It's like, how can I keep people in the churn all the time? That's what dating apps do. They don't want you to stop using Tinder. The worst thing that could happen is if you fall in love and find somebody to like actually hook up with that you like, that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, because now you're not a customer anymore. Right. So why wouldn't they want to keep you back in the churn? And that's just one example of what churn actually is. There's other areas of business where that happens as well. But that's like the worst thing that could happen. Like, Ryan, do you remember an author? Her name was Kate Bollock. Back in the day,
Why does the
like
name sound familiar?
2014, somewhere around there. And she wrote this book, or she wrote this article for The Atlantic called All the Single Ladies. And it was at the same time Hannah Rosen came out, and she was talking about like the end of men. And Kate Bollock was just the hot shit back then. And she wrote a book called Spinster, and how it was okay to be single, and she didn't care about what, she had met a guy in her late 20s that she kind of put off, and now she's a spinster, but it's all right. It's kind of the same narrative as that surgeon or that chick, that doctor.
Yeah, she had that thing with Patrice O'Neill for a bit where he put her on blast, isn't it? Wasn't that her?
I think so. Yeah, but she was really hot for a while. I haven't heard from her in a long time, but I've figured this out, and this is just what John was saying a second ago, is the minute she gets married is the minute the churn's over. The minute her grift is gone, because now she can't actually write the kinds of things that she used to write. So she has to have that misery so that she can use it, so that other people can go, yeah, that really resonates.
Well,
with
dude,
me.
I can give you a common example. Remember Illimitable Man? Remember when he was all about whammon ain't shit? Then he got that e-girlfriend, and then he was talking about we got to save the West again right after. And then Tate started showing those DMs of his chick calling him shit. Now he's like back to women ain't shit. It's like these aren't even grifts. It's kind of like a guy just like rambling through his life trying to hope that he can market whatever's happening to him at that exact moment. Yeah. Or the new dads are like, I've been a dad for 6 months. Here's 20 lessons from parenting. You need to learn to be a man.
I learned in half an hour I've been a dad. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And but I agree with John just on that last point is that, but it's not, I don't hate the guys. I know you guys are all on Fresh and Fit, and you guys are fine. I don't mind Fresh. I don't mind Fit. As people, they're just fine. Myron's great. Walter's fine. What you guys need to understand is when we're shitting on these things, it's like the brand decisions we make are things that we disagree with for some other reason. So I do want, and I know it's like not very grifty to say that you don't dislike the person, just the job he's doing. But yeah, I think that's important to make the distinction.
Clarify, I didn't say anything bad about Fresh and Fit. I think what they're doing.
No, I did. They're my jester.
That's fine. But I think because I think you kind of get lost in your own intelligence, Ryan, because you have like a keen eye to see how shit women are, but a lot of guys out there are literally giving women the benefit of the doubt when they absolutely should not be doing that. And I think it's kind of repetitive for us on the panel because we're all like, yeah, we know these bitches are insane, right? But the average guy,
you guys have been seeing black belt technique for a long time. You know?
So
so when you see the white belt technique, you're like, nah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The guys on Fresh and Fit, like, I understand why Myron's losing all his hair because that shit is just like they are. I mean, every night he has to deal with like
dum-dums. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have to. He hires them.
Well, no,
he sources them.
He sources.
It's a choice.
Right? But I've been there in the studio, and it's stressful, man.
Yeah.
And
they do a lot of work.
Like a Groundhog's Day because he's doing the same show every time, and he's having the same arguments, so he's got to repeat himself.
That's why they try. Well, you're only looking at it in the terms of the after hour show though, John, because he has other people on there. Like they have other shows that are on there because they try to break that up. That's why I was on there on Wednesday, a couple weeks ago, is to so that they're not just like a broken record all the time.
You made that girl cry, Rollo.
Did I?
No, you didn't.
Oh, the girl on the ratchet on the ratchet shows. They should just call them ratchet girls. That's.
No, I'm just joking. But watching that girl cry was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it's a work. They're like what I call in the Manosphere. I'm gonna do something on a show I'm gonna do a show on my channel called Mapping the Manosphere. I'm gonna show like what each one of the guys on here actually does for the Manosphere.
That'd be good.
And like
that sounds sexy with that.
Yeah. So Myron and Donovan and Kevin Samuels, they're like what I call the announcers. They're just like showing the world like this is the reality. this is how shitty these girls are, and like wake the fuck up. You know, guys like me, Paul, we're like the coaches. Like we're the guys like, okay, you really want to become a top 1% guy? Come to us. You and Ryan are like the heavy theory guys, like for the guys that really want to get
research and development.
Right, exactly.
Sure, whatever.
And that's just my general labeling, but I'm just saying
Ryan in the laboratory going,
like the philosophers.
I'm in the trenches, dude. Everything I have is a field. Wait, I'm not going to argue about that. Whatever. I'm listening to John. Sorry, John. I'm cutting you off. I shouldn't.
Let me hit this real quick because this guy had a good question. He says, "What's your process for defining your principles and your own iron rules and becoming your point of origin? Does it come with time, or is there something that one can do to clarify and sift through their ideas and thoughts?"
Fuck up. The more you fuck up, the easier you learn what you don't want.
Yeah,
that's true.
Failure teaches you fast.
Yeah,
fail a bunch.
No, I lost it. Hang on a second. Go ahead.
I'm bad.
It's a lot of experience.
I'll tell you what. I think people need to, first of all, go read the damn first book. Okay, here it is. Go read the first book because actually, I think it's in the second book. There's a whole dedicated essay to mental point of origin. Mental point of origin isn't put yourself first, man. That's not what it's about. It's about you have to be trained, unlearn what you've learned, and then you have to become the first thought that comes to your mind whenever you're faced with a decision. That's what mental point of origin is. It is the point of origin in your thought process, not just, well, I guess I should put myself first. That's cognitively thinking about it. What I'm saying is, and you need to internalize this to the point where it's like, how does this affect me? And then how does it affect my family, my girlfriend, my whatever, my dog, whatever it is, right? You have to be the first thing. The origin of your thoughts has to start with you. And what we do is we systematically train young boys to defective girls. And the very first lesson they learn is to not put themselves as their first thought. They put mommy first. They put sister first. They put womankind first. They put teacher first. They put anything in planet Earth ahead of themselves because you're supposed to think of others before you think of yourself. We don't teach that to women. We only teach that to little boys. And then they become defective. They're men who become defective women later on in life. So understand what mental point of origin is first before I can really tell you, well, what's your principles and everything else? Well, my principles and my values and things are unique to me, just as they are to John or Fitch or anybody else. So it's from that point, what are you building? Then we can start talking about like, what's your principles and what's your philosophy in life? I hate that question.
So that's an important. It's a tough one, but it is kind of important because guys are trying to unplug and they don't know. Well, wait a second. They go through an identity crisis. It's like, wait, this is all the things I used to know that kept me safe. Now those things aren't true. My safe world theory isn't real. What do I do now? I mean, not trying to just grift my stuff or whatever, but in the Alpha Mindset course, I have a whole module on identity and trying to basically visualize and figure out who you believe you are. That's independent of the influences that you've had since you've been growing up, and try to get as clear of a picture of who you think that person is, how you visualize your life going, and what drives you, what you want. But then the important part is setting up some goals and going and doing the action, though, that's going to take you towards what you want. And that's the actual action of being on the mental point of origin. And then from there, you're going to find out, this thing I thought that I really wanted, maybe it's not what I want, or maybe I want to do something else or do something different. It's all about taking the action and failing a whole bunch too, and then overcoming that. But, starting from that question of who am I really, man? Like,
the real you. What's the authentic you? That's all. And that's kind of like what John was talking about as well. Is like these guys don't know who they are. They don't know what they want to be. Right. I have to put this on here. Now I'm going to put myself up here because we're going to move on to number 4, and number 4 will surprise you. Okay. So I'm going to ask the panel here. I'm going to read you some quotes here, and I want you to tell me who said these quotes. Okay. Was it Confucius? Was it Sun Tzu? Was it Aristotle? Was it Marcus Aurelius? Or was it St. Thomas Aquinas? Okay, who said these things here? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ready? Here's number 1. The primary objective of the largely promoted entertainment is to inject poison into the minds of the population. Why else would such garbage even exist? Pay attention and you'll notice it's not funny. It doesn't even entertain. You've been programmed to consume regardless. Who said that?
Marx?
Cattle?
Goebbels.
Down. That was Goebbels. Okay.
Girls, whatever.
What ancient wisdom is this from? Anybody know? No, nobody knows. Okay. I'm gonna go with Goebbels. Let's put. Okay, we're gonna put Goebbels.
I feel like that's good.
Goebbels. I like that one. That's freaking genius. Okay, we couldn't get that one. Let's try this one. I told you to be liquid, to be fast. You cannot stay surrounded by slow people. The sloth doesn't understand the definition of speed until he surrounds himself with a cheetah. Fix the speed rate.
I know exactly who this is.
This? What quoted this?
Andrew Tate.
I think that's. Oh, I was gonna say the bullshit generator.
I like his memes. They're fun.
Okay, that's wisdom. Okay, let's see. Here's the next one. Here's a good one. Maybe this was Sun Tzu, right? This life is fucking war. It's a war for resources, war for females, war for status, war. Everything must be fought for, obtained, and held. As a man, you must be battle ready. Understand everything of value you have, someone else wants. Who said
Zelensky.
that?
Or Tate.
Zelensky.
Or Andrew Tate.
Who said that, John?
What was the quote?
I'll give it to you one more time. It's the war quote. This life is fucking war. It's a war for resources, war for females, war for status, war. Everything must be fought for, obtained, and held. As a man, you must be battle ready. Understand everything of value you have, someone else wants.
These are all Andrew Tate quotes, I think. You got me on that.
Whoever that is needs to get over himself. Jesus.
Is this a war room pitch?
No, what this is the wisdom of the ancients is what this is. So there, I liked Goebbels though. That was actually pretty good.
I didn't really. I feel bad now.
What I'm saying here is that okay. So I thought this was funny as hell. Like I see this all the time. I'm not just picking on Tate. I actually don't have much. I don't have anything bad to say about Tate. But like he's one of these guys who throws out tea leaves and ancient quotes from Stoicism and it's not just him, it's other people too, but it's what I call Confucius say. If you go and you look at like the Tao Te Ching and you go in there, you could find any one of these things, like modernize it for 2022 and bam, you're going to have like 10,000 views on that because people want their daily devotional. And that's what this is daily devotional.
I will admit though, I like him. Like it's like a guilty little pleasure for me. I used to read that shit when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And Book of Five Rings. I never grew out of that. Like I'm like, ooh, this is a cool meme. Oh, I'm gonna live the rest of my
I
days.
used to love
I love it. Okay.
jet fuel melting steel beams. That was my thing back in the day. I loved that shit.
Yeah, it's good.
Now I know I'm not picking on John here because I know John puts motivational quotes up around his house on everything like that. I have one right here from Robert Greene. But the only motivational quote I have is right here on my computer, and it says, resist the lure of easing up on your focus. That's the only thing I've ever had to remind myself of.
Well, I feel like an ass now because mine are like, you ain't shit, and that's okay.
These are meme worthy, bro. I don't know why you're not putting them in memes.
It's chapter 2 of my book, for fuck's sakes.
I wanted that shit since like
thing in my garage. It says it's your fault. That's my motivation.
Ooh, that's pretty good one too.
John, let me ask. I got a question for John. John, because you came from a religious background. Like your mom was very religious. Okay, she was an evangelical Christian, right?
Pentecostal, yep.
Pentecostal. Okay, so I don't know if you knew this, but my mom was before she converted to Catholicism, she was very much a Turner Burn Pentecostal, Baptist style evangelical Christian woman, right? And she used to have like it was either in a little booklet or she used to have these little cardboard pull things. And on each one was like a Bible verse, or it was
Daily Bread. I had one of those too.
The daily devotional, right?
Daily Bread.
Yes, the daily bread was in a bread. It was in a bread, like a plastic bread thing, right?
I had one of those at the house. My mom used to make us read it as soon as we woke up.
Yeah, I wake up and what's today's thing? You just pull it out by random kind of thing. And honest to God, man, I think that people need that in the digital form today.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
I got a calendar of bad dad jokes. Just saying. I mean, there's a lot of directions you can go with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the thing is, you with all these, that's why I deleted Twitter off my phone again, because I just get so mad at like the impracticality of it all. But again, like, you know, look, the world is burning, so you just gotta light a cigar. Like, you just gotta watch the motherfuckers sit back and destroy themselves. Like, it's just you could see the world coming undone from every corner right now. The financial markets, the war, people are fat as fuck, relationships, everything's falling apart right now. So all you got to do really is, again, you know, to harp on Rollo's point, right, to give him some props, become the mental point of origin, focus on yourself, save yourself, find useful people around you, create a literal digital local tribe of like valuable people around you, and come together, because that's the only thing you really do to actually become better. But like I said, a lot of people who watch us too, like I would say 90% just watch us and do whatever the hell they want, and the 10% actually are working on themselves. It's hard to become like us, but like it like John Fitch was saying, we're all just black belt level, you know, men here in regards to either money, muscles, game, or frame, if not all of them here. And we're just kind of living in excellence amongst each other. But to the average person, man, it's tough. And to be honest, like a lot of the guys watching us here, they are LARPers, but it is what it is. That's the reality of life.
I was just gonna throw this out there.
Dojo black belts they sent away for.
Yeah.
Number four was
real popular. Is it still popular? I don't even know.
Number four is the Confucius say, right? Women. So I wanted to also point out that this is not just for guys. Like, men love this too. And what John's saying as well is that, like, the world's a very chaotic, very dangerous place, and we're more aware of it now than ever before. And it's hard to sort out, right? I mean, fake news, this and whatever else. And we tend to want for really stupid, simplistic answers to very complex problems. That's why daily devotional kind of like wisdom of the ancients sounds like it's fucking deep, man. But it's nothing new, first of all. And then second of all, both men and women have it. So if you go and you look on Facebook right now, or you go and you look on like Instagram, I guarantee you'll find some thought on there who's got like, have a great day, girl. Make it a great day, girl. Or it'll be like some like really inspirational, what is it? Polite women rarely make history, or some bullshit from Mae West or Gloria Steinem or Betty Friedan.
Yeah. Mae West, you're reaching for that one.
Yeah, okay. What was it? Was it polite women rarely make history? I think
well-behaved women.
Well-behaved women rarely make history. Like that's their daily devotional, right? Guys, you have fucking daily devotionals now too, and you know how I know that? Because when I go and I see those little quips from the new age bullshit generator, Ryan. It's like when I see those things are like I can go put a picture of myself. I can go and like put some really good really heavy stuff out there. Nobody cares about that shit. They just want to know, like, make it a great day, life is war. Yeah, that sounds right. Or go be a stoic and read Marcus Aurelius, or wisdom of the ancients is really what it is, and that appeals to guys. But it's the same bullshit as well-behaved women, they rarely make history, right? It's the same stuff. It's like you just have a need for simplistic answers to complex problems because you just don't want to put the headspace into it. That's why those are popular. Okay, number 5 is this. It's all your fault. It's all your fault, Ryan. Your life, your fucked up life, your shitty real life is all your fault, right? It's the radical ownership, right? It's the own your bullshit, right? Which in and of itself isn't a bad message. It just becomes one when that's the only message that someone has for you.
Well, it's like a half truth. Like the military used to have this all the time. Yes. They used to say when you first got promoted to master seaman, your first position of responsibility, your new saying is my fault, or your responsibility, my fault. Yeah. Well, that's what the bosses would tell you. So they would screw up, and you're responsible for fixing it. That's your job. The guys below you, somebody will screw up. That's fine. It's your responsibility to fix it. I think they screw that up because then they put this childlike blame. Only children and chicks care about blame. Do you think a dad cares about blame? No, it's the kid who's like, pick up those socks. Well, I didn't do it. I don't give a shit. Pick them up because we're not fucking slobs. Yeah. Right. And then a lot of people take but that's typical of all these platitude ones. They take what is otherwise a useful piece of information and they surround it in infantile bullshit because they don't actually understand what they're saying. they literally steal the rational male and try and quote it, but they fuck up the context.
Mm-hmm.
It's like children with C4, correct children with dynamite. We're gonna hit the real shit now. And you're like, and then they just take they take rational male and dial Tism to 12.
Mm-hmm.
Or they take John's stuff and they dial that up to 12. Or they take John's, like, imagine John having his fighting course, and then some guy's like, this is how girls can learn how to beat the shit out of people. You get a 120-pound girl walking up to some Slavic dude who's drunk, and she's like, I got this. You know how that's going to end. This is the platitude version of that.
First of all, I feel attacked from what I was doing last night. Why do we get the camera on me when I say something stupid? Perfect timing. Little self.
Well, again, it's like this is the Jocko Willink thing, right? This is like, own your shit, right? Well, I presume you're already that's not a foreign concept to you. It's like building on it, and how long are you going to allow your old shit to like dominate and rule where you're going? It's like, you can't get ahead in life because I can't get ahead in life because I don't have the fucking skills and I didn't do the work. That's why I can't get ahead in life. I'm not afraid of success. I want success. I just know how to get from point A to fucking point B. Tell me how to do that. Well, okay, let me read my motivational book and you'll get from point A to point B. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying in and of itself that's not a bad message. It's just like when that's the grift, guys definitely want that, and it sounds like responsibility. It's the same thing Jordan Peterson has been selling for a long time, right? Which is, make your bed, clean your room, right? That's a step in the right direction kind of thing. It's something to his credit, at least it's something to do. At least it's an application. It's like, okay, well, here's a practice. Go and do this every day, and it'll put you in a different frame of mind. Great. At least I can do that instead of like berating guys for not owning their mistakes and owning their shit, which they probably already do, because as John Monolith Dating was saying just a minute ago, it's like these guys are fucked up. Most of these guys are just like they're not the black belts, right? But it's not because they're afraid of success. They want success just as much as anybody else. They just wanted you to give them a pill. They just want you to give them the template. They want you to give them the formula. And if your formula is, bootstraps, or it's your rags to riches story that's in the beginning of the introduction of every one of these books, it's like you will never hear that come from Rollo Tomasi, because I'm not the guy that like conquered cancer. I'm not the guy who gave up, had a drug addiction and I beat my drug.
150 pounds.
Exactly. It's like, if anything, I'm exactly like most of the guys that are looking for this material in the first place. Average dudes, average upbringing, average, I don't want to be average. Fuck average, right? I don't want to be average. How do you go from ordinary to extraordinary? And that's what they're really looking for, rather than you need to take more responsibility, son. It's like, no, I need authority so that I can take responsibility in the first place. How do I get authority? Yeah, that's not something that's really forthcoming, I think, in the Manosphere right now. How do you achieve authority at this time?
Right. That's a good question. I think just being really skilled.
Well, it's doing the work,
on what
right?
it is. Well, yeah. Like if we all go, we're gonna go learn some fighting skills and some grappling skills, and we all 5 of us decide to jump on the mat. Who's the authority? Who's the authority? John.
It's
not me, right? It's the guy who has the most skill. I have a bunch of skill in it. Actually, I'm not too bad, but I'm not fight ready, dude. I'm gonna have John coach me. He's the authority in that.
The thing with a lot of these guys who are leaning into the lower end of the extremes, they're just in it for the feels. They're not actually trying to do the work,
right?
Yeah,
because if I take extreme ownership, it's my fault. Like I suck, I'm awful, I did everything wrong. Like you feel good about beating yourself up. You feel like you accomplished something. I told myself what a loser I was.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction if I beat myself up.
Yeah. So now they feel satisfied that they did something because they beat themselves up. Then they watch the next video and they beat themselves up some more. And they just get stuck in the cycle of doing that. And they don't actually ever move forward or step forward at all in any type of improvement. It's just self-flagellation. They're whipping themselves. I'm such a bad person. And then they give them an excuse not to actually do the work to change.
Find a way to get to options and authority, and then confidence that comes after that as well. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6 is this, and John's going to love this one. Number six. Look at these frauds. They're all frauds. Commiseration, misery, complacency. Misery and complacency both love company. And we have never been able to monetize it as well as we have in the 21st century right now. So when you got, I don't know, John Anthony Lifestyle, who had all his entire library and archive of videos just consists of shitting on me, shitting on Ryan, shitting on John, shitting on probably Paul Benjamin right now. I don't know who else is on the list.
A few now they're shitting on me lately. It's fine.
Yeah, and so that becomes the grift.
Dude, if he spent half as much time being sober as he did shitting on you and me, he'd be fucking fit as fuck.
That is a popular. I think that grift. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll get to you in a second, John. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that grift, the look at these frauds grift, is just as popular as let's hold women accountable grift, because it's a low hanging fruit, man.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what sells in marketing. Negativity sells. You know, more people are going to click on a video that says these are the top 10 mistakes men are making right now, because they want to look at these mistakes and be like, oh, thank God I'm not doing any of these. They want to see that they're not doing the wrong thing. Not that they're doing the right thing, but that they're not doing the wrong thing. And there's kind of like a catharsis of like feeling not so bad about yourself by watching other people who are so bad, you know, like, oh, you know, this guy's, he's a fraud, he's a bad guy. Like that takes like it gives these people sort of a fake sense of moral superiority.
Commiseration.
Well, it's a way to marketing yourself as I'm the truth.
Yes, exactly.
You see, that's all that is. It's like these other guys, they don't have the truth. Let me show a goofy picture of this person, you know, that I took from a stream when he was mid-sentence, and then talk crap about him. And see, this is the people you're going to for answers. But me, I have the truth. Let me, you know, come to me. And it's like, when people do that, it tells me they don't have a product that's worth anything.
I love it when I'm watching. I love it when people like send me like a link to like whatever the latest bullshit video from like John Anthony is about me or John or whoever else. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, the title of the video is 7 ways that Rollo's a fraud or John's a piece of shit or whatever else. And I'm okay, I'll wait for those 7 ways, right? The first 5 minutes is, hey, take my course, guys, blah, blah, blah. It's all an advertising pitch. And then like maybe the 5 minutes in the middle part of the video is these guys suck. Fuck these guys. And then at the last 5 minutes is, and don't forget to get my course. Bye. See you later. That's really what it boils down to. And I mean, that's him. But there's other guys that do something that's very similar to that. And it's really, I think it's based in this desire by guys who just aren't on top of their game to commiserate with one another. That's why you get like guys like Wheat Waffles. That's why you get like looks in face and LMS, right? That's how you get looks maxers. And they continually draw really the same audience over and over again, but they continually draw those audiences because everybody wants to get together and go, yeah, man, life really sucks. You too? Yeah, me too. Oh, well, how women ain't shit but tricks and hoes. Really? Yeah, me too. Here in my neck of the woods kind of thing.
If everybody's a loser, nobody's a loser.
Well, and then like I think the marketability in that is there. I mean, when I was in high school, I graduated high school in 1986, right? There were losers, there were nerds, there were the same guys, the same element was part of Gen X and the millennials and this Gen Z and probably the boomers and God knows, before any generation before that, there's always winners and losers. The problem is they didn't have a platform to get together and go, fuck all these guys. What they had to do is either like self-destruct or they had to find a way to become better. That's how you get guys like Elon Musk or freaking Jeff Bezos or like even a guy like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. They were nerds and losers in high school. But you know what they had to do? They had to find some way to get up and over that. And we don't have that anymore because everybody is stuck on their forum, on their channel. Fuck Rollo. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to exploit vulnerable men, right? John's probably heard that about a cajillion times, man. You're only just selling stuff because you're targeting vulnerable guys. I don't have to because Wheat Waffles, CGA, Joker, John J Mulv or whatever the hell he's talking about, Anthony Johnson, they're all doing the same thing. They're all doing exactly that. They just do it in a more negative way. As John was saying, it's nothing but negativity, and that's always going to be what's going to be more impressionable because human beings remember negative things before they remember positive things.
It's just they're more likely to avoid doing the hard work to get the success that they actually covet. But that's why it's hard to get where we are, because you have to do hard work to get here. You know what I mean? So it's just funny. Like I said, they're just appealing to the lowest common denominator. I mean, the older I get, you know, the more I love losers. I love it. Every time I see guys lose, thank you for fucking taking the easy road.
Thanks for being a loser.
You're just making me stand out even more. And like I said, the services I offer and the coaching offers a niche product. And because I look at the numbers don't lie. The majority of people are losers. Look at America. Literally a staggering majority of people are fat or like overweight and or obese, you know? So these guys who are, you know, the negativity grifters and all that, you're a fraud, blah, blah, blah. They're the Walmarts, man. They're the Walmarts. I'll be Lululemon. I'll be Apple. I'll be Ferrari. I'll be the top tier, right? Because it's great to be at the top. I'll tell you, as a guy who's pulled himself from literally the bottom to the top, I'm living the dream, and it's great. And at the end of the day, those guys can call fraud. They can say everything. They can talk all the nonsense they want, but they got to go to a job at 9 to 5. And no offense to people who have 9 to 5s, but I'm just saying, like, they can call us names. They can say everything they want, but I'm living the above average life, and they're not.
Well, and here's the other thing too. I want to just drop this in here, is that the be like me thing too is something that is what it's like. I'm going to put myself out there as the product in hopes that people will go, wow, that guy is so cool. I want to be like him. You know, look at his infield and how he talks to this girl, you know, whatever. Like, nothing wrong with infields, of course. Again, there's always grains of truth with that mixes in with the bull stuff. But yeah, it's like I'm not interested in anyone being like me. I want them to be like them, you know, and to get what they want and get results. And I think that at the end of the day, you know, if you're looking to buy a course from somebody or get a book or train or do something from somebody, look at the results that you can get from the material. Don't worry about whether this guy's the coolest guy or not, because all that stuff is receipts can be faked and inflated on the internet. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, right? And I'm not saying they're not important, but man, yeah,
it's never been easier to fake cues of high value than it is today.
Exactly.
Tinder swindler.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Tinder swindler is a great example of how you can fake some things.
Have you guys seen Bad Vegan yet? Bad Vegan is just like, it's like you thought Tinder swindler was bad. Watch Bad Vegan. Oh my Lord in heaven.
That sounds good.
Vegans. Please tell me they swindled vegans.
Honestly, in a way, they kind of do. Like the people who work at the something Pure Food and Wine or something like that. I think was the name of the restaurant in there. But it's all vegan restaurant, and they get all the employees get shafted because of this one chick who is like gets gaslit by a guy not unlike Tinder swindler dude. It's really good. It's like you'll like. I think you of all people, John, would really like. It's only 4 hours. It's like a 4-part series kind of thing, and it's done. But it's fascinating because the chick is so locked in to this dude, so into it. It's like it's a cult of one.
and it's everywhere. It's not just in the Manosphere. I mean, this you know, I've come across dudes like, you know, presenting their brand on Instagram, the art, you know. Oh, this guy's such a tortured artist and he makes these really cool fashion pieces and stuff. And you find out he's stealing his material from people and he's ripping people off and he's, you know, doing all this shady stuff. It's like but the Instagram looks cool. You know, a guy might have 100,000 people on his Instagram. And so you don't look at that stuff. Look at the actual product. And in terms of information products, the product is the results that you can get from the actionable material in the product.
I would also add this, Paul, is that I think you kind of have to look at where these people come from. Like I was just I think it was somebody was talking about wheat waffles lately, and I look every time somebody brings him up or I look at his stuff, I go, this is a guy who knows this niche. He's not really an MRA or MGTOW or black pill. He just knows the niche well enough to say the right things, to develop a channel, because
which is smart for a 19-year-old kid.
Absolutely brilliant, because he's not one of them. He's actually not a bad looking guy. If you look at the pictures of this dude, you can tell he probably does okay with women, but he knows the language well enough to draw these guys in and create a big channel, because he's essentially, it's accountability. Like, think about all the things that go into that: accountability, black pill, women ain't shit. It's really all these things that we've just talked about. If you can combine all 7 of these, I'm about to get to 7, combine them all into one channel, you're going to be a multi-millionaire, because that's exactly what this demographic of guys really wants. All right, number 7 is this last one. Okay, number 7. Chase excellence, my friend. Don't chase money. Everyone in the sphere right now, this is a big time hustle right now, which is chase. Don't chase women, chase excellence. Don't chase this, chase this. Chase. I'm so fucking sick of the word chase, because it sounds like, oh, I'm chasing after this. Oh, I'm gonna go chase over here. I'm gonna go chase over. Like, I'm like a chicken with my fucking head cut off. Nobody's chasing jack shit. Okay. Nobody's chasing girls. Nobody's chasing excellence. Nobody's chasing this or chasing that. They're putting their attention wherever that attention ends up going. If it ends up being on chicks, and you're not going to tell a guy who's spending $4,000 a month on his favorite OnlyFans girl, chase excellence, because you're chasing girls. That guy doesn't think he's chasing girls. He thinks that's a good use of his time to take all that money and his money, spending a small fortune on that. It's not about chase. It's where are you putting your attentions? And so I keep seeing this, if you're poor, it's because you have a poor mentality or poor mindset kind of thing. And it honestly, that smacks of like The Secret, or like the the law of attraction, or MBTI, or astrology, or it's if you just like believe enough or pray hard enough, then the money's going to show up in your bank account, and a big juicy T-bone steak's going to show up in your freezer the next morning if you prayed the night before, kind of thing. And so you'll see, and we've seen this. Ryan's probably seen this meme a million times. What is it? Ignore women, acquire currency. And I think
be a better mark.
It's message right now, because I think what guys do is they will end up doing that, and maybe even becoming really successful, and then being sort of hobbled in the make money, make muscles, learn game. Total of it is frame kind of thing. And so, if they're deficient in one area, guys tend to gross out in another. If you say chase excellence, what the fuck does that mean? What does fucking chase excellence mean? Is it physical? Is it money? Is it like learning game and having better social skills? What's excellence? Ryan, is that a container word, do you think?
They all are. Well, the trick to a container word is that how you define it and how the person you're talking to define it have to be different. That's why real man is a good one. Because what you think of as a real man, what the grifter thinks of is, so yeah, as long as it's got that subjectiveness that you can fill in with your hopes and dreams, it's a perfect container word.
So I don't.
That's the key part, because that's how marketers work. That's how you can market to 15 people with 15 different ideas with the exact same product. And that's why, like the smartest branders, like Scott Adams, that fucking dope, with his whole uses a million words to say fucking nothing, and then everybody sits there going, "That's exactly what I was saying." He's such a smart guy, because that reflects my smartness. Meanwhile, all Scott did was just give you a container to fill it with your hopes and dreams, and then, sell that for his. What does he do? Other than, I guess he doesn't need the money. Is it just here for attention now? Does he have a Gumroad course on being overly verbose, or what? How to get swindled by an Insta thought? I don't know. What does he do? After Dilbert, what has he done?
I don't know. I think the whole, just the whole chase excellence thing, I think it's a good message overall, because it is telling guys just to be above average. But I mean, I guess that it could.
But what does it mean, though?
Well, the individual needs to define it. Like Rich. Well, just mentioned, because we have seen his name pop up in the chat a few times. Rich Cooper. Well, he says that all the time, but he has a specific definition of it too, which is kind of finding your purpose and what you can get lost in, and making that dent in the universe with that, affecting other people with whatever that thing is, being able to monetize it. There's a definition there, And if I'm saying it, I'm going to have a definition. If John's saying it, he's going to have a definition, and then it's more definable. But I think people use that though as a container word to market their stuff, and maybe their stuff is good. and that's good and that's okay. But maybe their stuff is garbage and it's the
Go ahead,
secret.
John. John's chopping.
I don't know. I'm just fucking licking my lips.
It's them teeth, man. It's them white ass fucking teeth, man.
It's my new veneers.
That's expensive smile.
I will say that this is why I make it very clear when I say the core four: make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. That way it's pretty clear what you need to do, because that's all you can do as a man is focus on those 4 core components of your life as a man. Make money. Why? Because people are going to rely on you to be the breadwinner in the majority of situations. Okay. Make muscles. Why? Because everybody in America is fucking fat and disgusting. Okay? Learn game. Why? Because simping is America's #1 export. And then hold frame. Why? Because when guys think like getting out and pump and dumping a bunch of sluts is hard work. No, the real hard work is actually when you're in a relationship and you got to learn how to hold frame and be able to be the rock in a relationship, to be able to be the stable one, to, you know, deal with the chaos that is female nature. So instead of saying, you know, vague things like chase excellence, which, you know, it's a good message overall, but it's kind of like, you know, Walmart marketing. The reality is you need to be more focused and concrete as a man, kind of like what Mel Gibson said in The Patriot, right? Aim small, miss small. So make money, make muscles, learn game, hold frame. These core 4 things are going to be important for you as a man for the rest of your life, because you're always going to need money. You know, like John Fitch says, gravity is always trying to kill you. Learn game because if you think you're going to like learn game, because trusting women is a dumb thing to do. And then hold frame also, you know, learning how to operate within a relationship and hold your ground and be a man. Because I think I can tell you now, as a guy who is, and I think Paul's in the same boat as me, as a guy who's slept with literally way too many women, like 240 something women, right? I can tell you that lifestyle, if you continue doing that into your 40s and 50s, I believe leads to depression and suicide. Quite frankly, we're seeing that happening. Because we're not seeing the end result. We haven't seen the end result of the PUA movement yet, but we're starting to see some of it. And what's happening? Roosh lost his fucking mind, just gave up his fucking live stream, right? No offense to the what's the guy, the fucking
Mystery
dude,
Mystery.
Terreo.
Tom Terreo,
right? Caught fucking scamming and making fake infields, and then ends up killing himself over a girl in his 40s. Mystery losing his fucking mind, right? You're seeing, I mean, even people like fucking Delicious Tacos, like turning his, like it is, like he's like miserable and shit in his 40s, and now he's like taking pictures in nature and stuff. I don't think we're seeing the tail end of the result of hyper male promiscuity as well. I don't think it's really cut out for everybody. That being said, I do think, like, you know, to go off of what Rollo says, not to be a circle jerk, but I think it's true. Men and women are better working together. Like, take a look around. Feminism failed. It's failed. Everything is fucked up in the West. Women are miserable. Men are miserable. We've strayed away from a model that works into something that doesn't fucking work. And this is the reality of giving women freedom, right? Women weren't slaves in the first place. Okay. We just allowed, as men, we allowed the marketers and the governments to brainwash women in the form of getting an education, right? Which is going to college, getting indoctrinated, watching media that's controlled, telling them, you go girl, be a slut, be a whore, and then you'll find a man who loves you. Literally, the #1 thing men do not want a woman to do is go out and fucking be a slut or be a whore. With those little terms, if you look up those terms, that's what the majority of women are nowadays. And the majority of guys are like, well, okay, if you're gonna be a pump and dump, like I just have to go through life being pump and dump, and both the sexes are miserable. So, I mean, that's just my current take on things right now. I think that we really have to focus on kind of men and women kind of coming back together and working on this shit together. And the real part is this too, because Paul did a great part of it on his video. He did a great video talking about how to deal with today's modern situation with relationships, and women have to submit to men. They have to. If women do not submit to men in a relationship, that relationship will not work. And that's what we're seeing right now. If they don't submit, it's not going to work.
Let me tell you something. When I watched Tinder Swindler, and then I watched Bad Vegan, and there's probably some other ones as well, but like those are real life stories. These are documentaries of things that actually happened. And my first, like when I watched Tinder Swindler and I watched like these 3 chicks, my first impression was, where was this girl's father? Where was this woman's brother? Where was this woman's like, male influence that would have said, this guy is full of shit and you're not getting on no fucking private plane to go to Bulgaria or wherever the fuck this guy wants to take you because he's full of shit. I can see it right here. And where's that guy? Where's that positive male masculine influence that steps in and says, no? Where is that? It's nowhere is where it is. And the same fucking thing happened to that chick on Bad Vegan. The same thing happened to the girls that were in Tinder Swindler, and really kind of to an extent, the chick who was like, was it Anna Sorokin and Inventing Anna? Same thing. It's like, where are the men that are saying, where are the fathers? Where are the brothers? Where are the boyfriends? Where are the husbands? Where are the nephews? I don't know, whatever. Where's the kin altruism from the men who will step in and do that? And I'll tell you where it is. Nowhere. Because in addition to teaching women this strong, independent thing, and don't worry, you make good decisions because you're a female. You have a hoo-hoo. You have a magic cooter, and that makes all of your decisions the correct decisions. So you'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Go jump on that plane and fly off to Belize or wherever the fuck this guy's taking you on his private jet after meeting him a half an hour on a Tinder date, right? And what planet is that like reasonable and rational? And the thing is, on no planet, because those decisions are made by emotional women, because we are living in an age of emotionalism. We don't make decisions based on empiricism or rationalism or reason. And any guy who would step in to want to do that would instantly be called a misogynist or overbearing or domineering, or like find whatever insult or epithet you can probably attach to this guy. You're insecure in your masculinity. I should be able to go find love if I want to, right? That kind of shit. No, women need men to step in and take authority over their fucking decisions. Sorry, not sorry, because you know what? Until we do, we're going to get the next Tinder Swindler. We're going to get the next Bad Vegan. We're going to get the next, Cult of One. All because women make emotional decisions. And you know who pays the consequence? Who pays the price for that? Guys. Men, their families, their mothers, their dogs, in the case of Bad Vegan, even, right? It's like those are the fallout because no one stepped in and said, no, you're not going to do that because I'm going to save you from yourself. How dare you save me from myself? How dare you tell me that I'm, my decision making is wrong? I'm following my heart. Just follow your heart. It'll never fail you, right? No, that's how you get these fucking documentaries that come out every month on Netflix that are pretty much the same story because nobody stepped in. No, as you were saying before, a woman has to submit to that guy, and it has to the guys. Okay, that's one side of the equation. The other side of the equation is guys have to have the balls to be the one to step in and take the authority, regardless of whatever the social consequences are going to be from that. Because I'll tell you this right now, any social consequence from a guy coming in and like risking being insecure or domineering or like a borderline abusive asshole for stepping in and making decisions for that woman, those consequences for that are going to be far less than the downstream fallout from a woman making a bad decision like in Bad Vegan, or the 3 chicks who are like $250,000 in the hole because they owe because they're the ones that took out 9 fucking loans. Who's paying for that? Their families, them, of course. But it also, and simps, because they start a Kickstarter and a GoFundMe to help them get out of debt for decisions that they made because I don't follow my heart. Like, fuck you. No, guys need to step in as well. So it's not just women submit to men. It's men step up and fucking take authority when you see a bad decision happening with your daughter, with your niece, with your wife, with your grandma. I don't care who it is. You step in, you go, you know what? That's bullshit. And I'll tell you this: you start doing that, I think women will start respecting you a whole lot more for that.
They do. That's how I live my whole life, and they absolutely do. They may not like it. They may think I'm an asshole, but they respect it in the end, and often listen.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. We're approaching the 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna go around the horn here. First, I'm gonna start with Razor Fist.
Dude, these lights are killing my eyes. I don't know how you guys can do this.
Stallone in the movie Cobra.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. Dude, here's my pitch. I give you guys what you need for entertainment. You come onto my main channel. It's the Ryan Stone one. You watch Midge Watches, where I go through field reports, what guys have done, how they applied a lot of the stuff we talk about. I got a playlist called The Sidebar, which is everything that tens of thousands of red pill guys have done over the years and build it into like a codified, almost teaching experience, and it's there for free. A couple books, a little bit of lifting, some risk-taking behavior, and you're golden, right? You got that, you got Chick Talks, where I kind of laugh at women being women and teach you that even during the thought apocalypse, you can have some fun. You don't have to be dour, you don't have to scowl all the time, and you can enjoy some entertainment. Maybe that's a little heavy for you. That's fine. I got you too, bro. Gaming channel, Digital Ryan. You come on in there. We have some live streams. We have some fun playing some games. Everybody likes to relax and have some leisure time. Go for it. Learn how to do better things. There's guys in the chat starting their own channels. They get to learn about the equipment to buy and the stuff there. It's literally guys swapping notes, the exact way that Red Pill has always been. Talk to each other, find out what works, steal from guys that are doing better, help guys that are doing worse. It's perfect. And we're all pretending to play Legos and Minecraft on it, so whatever. Beyond that, you've always got fuck files. Again, all these platitudes we're talking about, these are ones that actually worked in my life, and they've worked in other people's lives, and we don't sugarcoat things. Between that, that's all I got for you. I'm not doing the Gumroad course anytime soon. Book 2 is still halfway done, the final draft, and it'll be out when it's out, and I'll let you know. So that's all I got. Let's hear from the next guys.
I do not want to believe that.
That bitch.
Fitch, you look like Castaway.
Yeah.
you need a volleyball little face on
it. I need to start auditioning for like some Viking roles or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get it.
You try to blend in with the homeless community. But no, go to jumpfish.net, sign up for the newsletter. I'm available. I'll teach you some violence, and I've been doing more fitness stuff, diet and resistance training stuff, online course, not online course, but online instruction stuff. So hit me up. I'll check you guys later.
I'm gonna come down to San Jose, and I'm gonna come to San Jose, and John's gonna teach me a fight, and we're gonna do a video series. And it's gonna call Choose Violence with John Fitch.
That would be great.
All right, Paul, you're up.
Yeah, well, just go to apexmindset.net for stuff and updates. Get on the email list because I'm putting out decent little content there and things that'll help you out. I got my Frame and Seduction Mastermind group, which is a very intense one-on-one group with a small group of people. We do Zoom calls and there's course material that is taking you very, very in depth on the whole frame seduction process and persuasion and just interacting with females. And there's a lot of mindset and things like that too, stuff in there as well.
You're gonna love book 5, my friend.
Dude, I'm excited.
I think it's the great thing about book 5, the game book that I'm working on right now is it's applicable to everybody on this channel. Like you can use it as like a textbook for stuff that you're talking about.
That's sick, dude. I love it. I can't wait. So
All right.
Yeah.
And
guilty.
So I saw somebody put a $5 super chat in there, and he said, like, what should I do about putting my significant other on the title of the real estate? Absolutely do not do that.
Yeah.
Do not do. Oh yeah, one baseball fan says, thought on putting her name on the title to real estate? Absolutely not. Do not hand over any unnecessary leverage in the relationship whatsoever. There's no reason for you to put our name on
your name on a lease with a girl.
No, there's no need for that at all. Anyways, on my channel in the month of March, I've been doing a series called Modern Women March, where I'm just breaking down video clips from Fresh and Fit and clips on the internet. I recently just did a video called Modern Women Are Delusional, where Tess Holliday had a 12-minute monologue on how she has anorexia nervosa. So Tess Holliday is a 400 something pound plus size model, and now she is out talking about how she has anorexia nervosa, according to one of the people who have unofficially diagnosed her. I just talk about what's going on with modern women, how they're delusional, how by default they destroy relationships, how they lie about their body count, how they are pretending to be like they have everything together, but these women go home and they are literally broken. I've had a series of experts come on there: Donovan Sharp, Red Pill Thor, Offie Kingdom. And we've just been doing a lot of breakdowns. And every day in March on my channel, go to Modern Life Dating on YouTube, subscribe, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm talking about that. I am doing a meetup. So I'm having Hot Dude Con in Frankfurt, Germany on May 17th. Wow. So if you are in Frankfurt, Germany, send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is Hot Dude Life. Actually, Rollo, can I put this up? Let me just
sure. Yeah. It's got put it in the chat and I'll put it up for you.
It's right there. Just let me share it to the screen.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So there it is. Hot Dude Con. Send me introduction. Send me a DM here on Instagram, Hot Dude Life. It's completely free. Here's the full deal. Okay, so I'm flying to America to go speak at the Conference of Masculine Excellence, and that is Donovan Sharp's event in Miami.
19th through the 22nd.
Right. And on the way there, I will have a 5-hour and 25-minute layover in Frankfurt, Germany. Abu American is picking me up from the airport. Nice. We're going to go to a restaurant and or venue. I'm going to hang out for 2 to 3 hours. And then I'm going to head back to the airport and get on my flight and go to Miami. So I'm literally doing this for the guys. I'm doing this for the guys who actually want to meet up and actually make some real life connections and see the real deal. If you come in with any bad intentions, Abu American is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and he'll have a machete with him. So be careful. But that being said, send me a DM on Instagram, Hot Dude Life, and then we'll put you into a Telegram chat where we are coordinating everything. That's it. Definitely check out my channel. The Modern Women March stuff has been fantastic. Nice. I had a really good friend of mine, Allie from Real Femme Sapien. She and I talked about just how lost modern girls are as well. She has a really good channel. Check her out as well. But yeah, I'm kind of going a little bit more of a different direction now because I'm realizing that at the point that I have achieved, right, financial success, sexual success, whatever, that I don't think the solution is fucking a bunch of women for the majority of guys. So you guys out there that are like chasing this as your trophy, I've realized that I was wrong to think I was going to be endlessly womanizing till the day I die. And I'm actually in a much more fulfilling situation right now, which I didn't think was possible. I'm learning and growing as I continue on my journey through life as a man. And I want to share that with all you guys. So check me out, Modern Life Dating on YouTube, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday, free show every single day. That's it.
You're goddamn right.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, John, I love you. I love I like watching, and no homo, but like I just love watching
all the homo with me though.
I love watching you mature, son.
Thanks.
But you know what? I'm still on the fence about like fucking a lot of chicks because apparently you don't have, what is it, 1450 right now? So I mean, well, maybe that's a bad example. So anyways, I right after I hang up the phone here, I have to go get ready for a gig tonight at Alturas Bar at the Cellar Stage, which is actually probably the best, in my opinion, it's the best. God damn it, it's the best metal venue in Reno, Nevada, even though it's down on 4th Street and probably the worst part of Nevada you could probably go to. But I will be playing there. We are opening for an industrial metal band called Fleischkrieg, and they're coming through town, so we are opening for them. They're great guys. Just met up with Rich, the guy who is their singer, and it's just it's going to be a good show. So if you guys want to come to that show, we'll probably be going on at about like 8:30 or 8:45 as the opener. The only reason I'm throwing that out there right now is because the last time we played in January, I had actual people from like this channel, followers of mine, drive in from like Truckee or wherever, Sacramento, just to come see my show. And I'm like, well, thank you very much for that. So if you're interested, Trial of Ascension, we're opening tonight for Fleece Create.
Gonna live stream it at all, or are you gonna stream it?
Live stream it on Instagram. So that's another thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I'll be live streaming it on Instagram. I'll probably be doing stories. I'll probably be doing some interviews with everybody. So it's a lot of fun. If you want to see what I do, that's not Rollo Tomasi. Well, I guess I am Rollo Tomasi, but like it's not Manosphere shit. It's like I'm going out there and doing, this is how I have fun. So I'll be doing that tonight. Also tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern is my live stream as per usual. So don't miss that. Also, just to sort of hit on what John was saying a second ago, I'm going to be at the CME as well. So it'll be myself. John will be there. Troy Francis is going to be there too, right?
Yes.
So you're going to have 3/5 of the original Rule Zero crew there in the house. We'll probably go on Myron and Fresh's show, I'm sure, a few times. So we'll be doing that. But it's going to be a good time. If you want to go to a good convention, a fun convention where it's not just about, just sitting there or listening to people talk all the time, there's other things that you're going to do. Hot Dude Con there too, aren't you, John?
In Miami?
Yeah, in Miami as well. Are you going to do side events?
So actually in May, we're going to do Hot Dude Con Miami, and breaking news, we're doing Hot Dude Con Disney World.
I'm
That'd be cool.
I promise you, I will do Hot Dude Con Miami with you. I'm there actually from the 16th until the 23rd, so I'm there for that full week. So those 3 days before the con starts, I'm gonna do deep sea fishing. I'm gonna do charter a boat. I'll probably have myself, Justin Waller, and Tom. So that's gonna leave like 2 or 3 other slots open. So I'm gonna have some slots. If you're on my Patreon, you'll be able to get first dibs. If not, I might even do it twice. We'll see how it goes. I've got a guy there who's a Captain Nelson. I got to give him a plug. He's our captain. He takes us out there. We go and we hit mahi last time, so maybe we'll be able to do it this time. So that's going off on the 19th through the 22nd. I'll be there the 16th through the 23rd, and then prior to that, actually, I will be at George Gammon's event, which is the 14th and 15th of May, and then I'm flying to Miami. So I'm gonna be gone half the month in Miami. And his event is The Collective. Go check out George Gammon's channel and his website if you want to get involved in The Collective. It's a private group that he's got going on, and so I'll be speaking at that also next weekend on my birthday. As I said, I will not be on this show because I will be in Phoenix, Arizona with Robert Kiyosaki. We're having a Rollo Tomasi birthday, so watch Instagram for all the wonderful videos that are going to come out of that. I'm doing a talk with him. And that's what I'm doing there. And I also have an NFT coming out, John. I don't know if Charlie from Cultivate Crypto told you, but we have Red Pill lines that I'm doing with Kevin Savo and Rocky Savo right now. That, by the way, we pushed back 1 month. It will be dropping on May 1st. And the reason we did that is because we had such an overwhelming response on the Discord channel, and we have so many people on the whitelist right now. I am like dumbfounded by like how many people really want to get behind this project. So, and again, this is a Red Pill NFT. And we're doing it so that the funds that we make off of this go into Red Pill projects. So if it's a documentary on the Manosphere, if it's whatever the project is that we need to fund, rather than doing a Kickstart or a GoFundMe or whatever, we're doing an NFT. So that's what we're working with. If you want to get involved in that, the Discord link is in my description. And finally, Book 5 comes out next week. So as soon as I get the galley prints back from Amazon and I approve them, it goes out and you'll get it, and I'll make a big announcement. You will not be confused. You will definitely hear about this when it drops. So that's coming soon. Lots of big fun shit coming up in the future, like this spring. So Q2 of 2022 is going to be really big, I think, for all of us, really. So Ryan, thank you for joining us. John, if you want to do a tag team on any of these the videos that you're doing, I'd be happy to join you on those as well.
I will tower them hoes.
I do want to
I got to get Ryan. I need to have you on my show as well. John, I'm going to Fitch. I'm going to definitely get down to San Jose. We'll do something. You're going to teach me how to. We're going to choose violence together, my friend. Hey, and then Paul, are you going to come down to Miami for the CME? Are you going to come down and hang with us like before?
I'll see if I can. I wasn't invited to speak or anything, so I mean, I'm not sure. If I'll have to check my military schedule and all that. But it'd be cool.
By the way,
cool to hang out.
Paul, again, in Miami on the last weekend of June is the next Rebel Capitalist with George Gammon. I'll be there again, just like we were last year. So maybe if you can't make May, then maybe you can come in June.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to come down. I'll work it out.
Right.
I want to throw something real quick out there too. I don't know, something we'll talk about, but I'm kind of on this I guess I'm on this project, something called Mind Dates, because you're talking about movies. There's a movie right now that's sort of in production right now. It's called Mind Dates. It's a romantic comedy that is from a red pill perspective. So a guy by the name of Glenn Lawrence, and then a couple other people are working on this. So it's been going on the side. And
Mind Dates.
Mind Dates, pretty interesting project. I want to just drop him because I know Glenn's in the chat there, and he's got. There's some names in there that are interested in like, funding and getting on the project. So it's getting some traction, but the pushback they're running into is the obvious one in Hollywood, where putting out anything that's not with the woke narrative is difficult, but they're getting quite a bit of traction. I think they got pushback on filming. I think they're going to do some of the rest of the filming in August, but
excellent.
I don't know, I'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah. Glenn Lawrence got you. All right. And then also, because I see people are asking about this. Yes, I will be on the 6th today at 2:30. That's Donovan Sharp's panel show. I'll be on there, I believe, with myself, Kevin Savo, Hotep Jesus, Lucario, Captain EO, Coach EO is going to be on there, and I forget who else is on. Maybe even Fem Sapien, but that's Donovan Sharp's show. That's at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. So I'll be on for that, and that'll be the last thing I do before I head out to Alturas. So I will see you guys tonight. Peace. Thanks, guys. See you later.